Germany started the Second World War with no heavy combat aircraft at hand. Still, they'd been trying to build a long-range bomber capable of reaching targets in Great Britain and the Soviet Union since 1934. After a few unsuccessful attempts, the He-177 Greif took to the skies on November 19, 1939. The aircraft proved to be issue-ridden and hard to operate, mostly due to its unique power plant. It had the DB606 engine, basically a compound of two V12 motors installed side by side and connected to a shared drive shaft. The total power of this mechanism exceeded 2,700 horsepower. Heinkel engineers could have used a common four-engine layout, but their choice of two nacelles was deliberate. They were planning to switch to two newer, more powerful engines without having to redesign half the aircraft. Another reason for such an original design was an absurd requirement of the Ministry of Aviation. They believed the bomber had to be able to dive bomb at a 60-degree angle. Naturally, it was extremely difficult to teach a four-engine 30-ton bomber to dive bomb. Trying to give their brainchild the best aerodynamics, the engineers created an engine compartment with maximum possible density. This decision ended up as an endless source of issues. The layout was so dense that the nacelles didn't even have room for fire barriers. Due to that, any leak in the fuel system or oil pipes would always lead to a fire. Soldiers gave this plane a grim nickname, the Air Force Lighter. Next, the engineers used double gear legs to keep the nacelles compact. Each of the legs had its own wheel and a mechanism to fold it to the side. The solution made it possible for some massive wheels to hide in a relatively thin wing, but made the overall design even more sophisticated. The bomber was also to receive unique defensive weapons. The original plan was to place all cannons and machine guns into remotely controlled turrets, something never done before on a German plane. But the production variant ended up having just one such turret. The size of the Greif was comparable to the legendary Flying Fortress, but the Heinkel 177 could boast a higher maximum speed and bomb load. In addition to conventional bombs, the German aircraft could also carry the unique Henschel 293 and Fritz X, guided munitions that proved to be effective against naval targets. From the technical point of view, the Greif was a very troubled plane, but compared to other German bombers, it suffered pretty low losses during combat missions. Thanks to higher speed and altitude, the Greif was a tough target for fighters and anti-aircraft guns. More than 1,000 of these bombers were built before the war ended, but they stopped flying around the summer of 1944. Low fuel reserves forced the Luftwaffe to stop mass bombing raids. The Heinkel 177 had an original and, in many ways, advanced design for its time. But when its reliability finally reached an acceptable level, Germany had no need for strategic bombers anymore.